All right. Looks like we are officially live here on this Monday morning. It is September 20th. Is this correct? Where have I been? Oh, yeah, I know where I've been. I've been I've been in Texas. We went there last Thursday, and we're finally back after an awesome trip, but also a little crazy at the end. And yeah, lucky I'm even back here this morning to be able to do this coffee talk, this Monday mindset. But it also gave me some content ideas, and just on the fly, I figured I would share a little bit of what I took away from the end of our trip, which was yesterday. I got in, well, around 1:30 in the morning, went to bed by 2 o'clock, and I was up by, I think, 7. So yeah, I didn't get a ton of sleep, but I feel pretty good. But today we're still going to kick this baby off for the week and do our Monday mindset. And today we're going to talk about avoiding the toxic people out there that can really contaminate your thinking and start having you become part of that toxic circle. We do not want that, because that can lead to negative things and probably not the best outcome. So that's what we're going to talk about here today. Let me know real quick before I get rocking and rolling, and then we are going to get this thing started. Audio, video, everything cool? And if it is, then we're going to go ahead and get this thing rocking. Cool. Salama says, I can hear and see you. So thank you. All right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to kick this baby off and get it rocking and rolling. All right. So here we go. I'm going to kick this thing off. All right, guys, welcome back to another Monday Mindset. And today I've got something that I want to share with you, something that literally just happened maybe 8 hours ago, not even 8 hours ago. Well, maybe 8 hours ago. And what I'm talking about today, and I'll tell you a story that will make this really, well, it'll paint a better picture for you. And really what it's all about is how to avoid toxic people out there that could be hurting your results and really stunting your growth. I actually saw this happen yesterday, and it made me want to do this here for you. So let me just kind of take you through what had happened over the past few days. Well, first off, I'm recording this on a Monday because it is a Monday mindset, and I'm doing it for my coffee talk people. So thank you for joining me. If you're listening to this on the podcast, well, it's a recording of that coffee talk, my Monday mindsets that I usually come on here and give a little Monday mindset advice. And if you want to be part of that, just head on over to takeactioncrew.com and you can join us over there. Yeah, so we went away. We went and visited Waco, Texas. My wife, my 2 daughters, Kayla and Alexis, and my grandbaby and my son-in-law, Cameron. And we hung out, and of course my wife, and we hung out for 3.5 days. And my wife's, really into the whole, Chip and Joanna thing, and my daughter, well, my daughters, I should say. And I was like, you know what? I'll go there. We'll hang out and see what it's all about. And it was cool. Great, great place. They've done a lot of work to it, and it's really, really cool. And just my wife was there maybe 6 months, no, about 1.5 years ago. And so much has already been even done more since then. So it was an amazing time. The reason why I'm telling you this is because we had a great weekend, and it was awesome. And I took actually some business lessons away from that trip, by the way, from Chip and Joanna, because I'm always looking at the business side of things, but I won't get into that today. But what I really wanted to share was the end of my trip, because everything went great up until about, I would say maybe, let's say 15 minutes before we were ready to board our plane. So we're standing in line and we're all ready. And I mean, we're exhausted. It was, let's see, the flight was supposed to take off at 6:40 Central Time. So we were an hour behind there from where we are located here in South Carolina. And we're standing there and we're ready to board. We're like ready. We got our bags there. We're We're in group 4. So we're waiting for our group to be called. And everybody's standing there. And they said, well, we're sorry, but we're going to be delayed. They're doing a check on the plane right now. We don't know what that means. So we're like, what? Okay, whatever. So we're standing there, and they said it could be 10 minutes, it could be a half hour, or we might have to switch your flight. We don't know yet. So we're like, okay. So everybody kind of just still stood there hoping and thinking that it was going to be like a 10-minute delay. Well, then they come back on the speaker and said, sorry, this plane is not going to be leaving here tonight. And we're like, okay, are we going to be leaving at all? And so long story short, as we stood there for about another 15, 20 minutes, they told us we had to go to a whole nother gate. Now, if you have ever went to the Dallas-Fort Worth airport, it's big, right? So we're at like Terminal D. We got to go to Terminal A. So we had to get on the tram and all that stuff. And it was, everybody's rushing over there. And we finally get over there. And yeah, our flight is going to take off. So as we're sitting there, and I say take off, it's not ready to load yet, but people are waiting there. We're all waiting there, and we're like, okay, cool. We are going to get home tonight. That's cool. I did not want to stay another night there just because I wanted to get home and get on with my week. It's the end of the week. We're going to be going away again to where are we going this week? In Myrtle Beach, because we have another beach volleyball tournament. So I'm thinking I just want to get back. I want to get situated, and I want to get my week going. Got some stuff I got to do. And so we finally board the plane. But before we boarded the plane, I picked up on a conversation. And that's what really made me want to do this Monday Mindset about how to avoid these toxic people. Now, I'm not saying all people are bad because it's not really their fault. Not at all. So we can sit here and get in a circle and all be frustrated together, be mad together, complain together. But what is that really doing for this situation? Getting us more angry, getting us more upset, more frustrated. So I was standing there, and as I was standing there, I'm picking up on a conversation that was with, I'd say about 6 to 8 people. And they were just complaining, and saying, I'm so upset because, this is the second time that American Airlines has done this. And whenever I'm on Delta, I don't have that problem. But I've heard the opposite. I've heard people have problems with Delta, but not with American or Southwest or whatever. They all have their problems. Right? You're going to have a problem if you're flying. We all know that. It's going to happen. So we can either sit here and be frustrated with it, which I was. I'm not going to admit it. I was frustrated, right? But I wasn't going to go in there on that conversation. And I don't think I said one thing to my wife or my daughter, like, American Airlines, those guys suck. Like, I didn't say that because honestly, it's probably not their fault. There's something wrong with the plane that didn't meet their checklist. So do we want them to leave with faulty tires or, fluids or whatever? Do we really want them to take off? Are we that much in a hurry, people? Right? So I just was watching this, and as they were talking, they were all getting more angry, and they were all kind of like sharing their anger. They're like, yeah, this happened to me and that. They should do this. And I had one guy on the plane. This was a guy next to me, right next to me. And the pilot comes over the loudspeaker and says, thank you so much for your patience. I really appreciate you. And he's like, come on, man, just get on with it. And he's like, not yelling it, but he's saying it enough where we could hear him. And he's cussing and he's just frustrated. Like, what good is that going to do for you? Like, is that going to make him go any quicker? No, it's not. It's negativity that he's projecting into the world. And I bet you he's got some problems going on in his life. And I bet you in his circle, what they do is they sit around and complain. So I don't want to be a part of that. Now you can't avoid that, right? He's right there. But I'm just thinking to myself, I feel sorry for that human being. I feel sorry for those people that to be part of something or to buy into that complaining, they're probably that way in a lot of other aspects of their life. Right? You know that. You've been to parties where people, they're just like that constant complainer. All they do is complain. How was your week? Well, man, this happened, that happened. Nothing goes right for me. I mean, Joe, he's so lucky. Nothing happens to him, but me, and everything happens to me. Everything happens to me. My bad luck. Boo-hoo, right? We all heard that. And those people will then surround themselves with those types of people. And to me, that is toxic. It's like taking a clean glass of water and just pouring a little bit of dirt in there and then a little bit more dirt. And then you have this dirty, mucky water. Like we can't allow ourselves to go into that circle. Now, I'm not saying you can't avoid being in that circle, but you have to not get into that conversation, right? You can't buy into that group. I wrote an email this morning talking about this, and I use the example of building out these niche properties, right? Like we're building out these niche properties. Are there things going to happen that are not good? Yes, they are. If you went and bought a rental property, you're going to have a problem with that property. I guarantee it. You're going to have a tenant that either needs to be evicted. You're either going to have a tenant that leaves the toilet running, or it overflows and you have damage, or you have a roof leak, or you have something, right? Maybe you got to get another assessment because your taxes are too high. There's going to be something you're going to have to deal with. Just face it. It's going to happen, right? And I mean, heck, Google's going to make another update. It will happen, right? And your rankings might go down and then they might go up, or they might stay down. We don't know, okay? But we have to know that going into what we are doing and understand that there will be these issues. So we can either be a complainer and just sit there and complain, or we can be an action taker and a problem solver. Now, some people would say, well, Scott, if you're a problem solver, that means you must know a lot about what you're doing. No, I'm going to figure it out by asking questions, right? I don't know it all. I don't know everything about, an automobile, right? But if something happens, I'm going to try to maybe fix it myself first if I have an idea. If not, I'm going to go ask someone what I need to do to fix this, or I'm going to bring it to someone that can fix it, right? I'm not going to sit here and just complain about my car all week long, right? Like, it happened. Let's deal with it. All right. Now, I'm not saying that there's not going to be times that you're going to get frustrated. You are. I will too. It's not going to go away. Was I frustrated last night? Of course I was. Like, I wouldn't be human if I wasn't, but I try to talk myself off the ledge, if you will, right? Or my wife might have said, hey, relax, right? But in the moment, it's hard not to, right? It's hard not to get yourself in there because you want the thing, right? Like for me, I wanted to be home. The people there wanted to be home. But if they weren't complaining about that, they were probably going to complain about something else, right? Maybe the pretzels were stale. I don't know, right? So we have to be careful with who we surround ourselves with. And I've talked about this before. Super, super important. And let's not be one of the complainers. Let's be the doers. Let's be the action takers. Let's be the problem solvers. Okay. And let's not be the ones that are looking at other people with jealousy and thinking like, well, they got it because they're lucky. They were at the right time, at the right place at the right time. Right. But they didn't see all of the things that they did to get to that place. Right. There's a lot of things that got them to where they were or where they are. Okay. Most of the time, you're going to find, if you ask that person a story that you're looking at, like I'm looking at Chip and Joanna Gaines, right? I downloaded their audiobook, and I'm probably about 3 hours into it because we had a 3-hour flight, and it was great. Right. And it just talked about their struggles and their grit and their determination and all of these things. Some would say they're just so lucky. Look, you got to listen to what they went through to get to where they are. Right. Nothing was handed to them. Okay. Same thing. I wrote a book, Take Action Effect. It goes through all of the things that I did, all the way from selling these little wooden bridges on eBay, to put my kids through a private school, the money that I didn't have, and I did it and I learned, and that's what allowed me to get to where I am today. I'm not complaining about the journey. Like, I wouldn't change that journey for anything, but people, they do want to, have that little scratch off that they go into the supermarket or the grocery store, or they go into the gas station and they scratch that off, hoping it's going to be that $1 million card. Right. And I'm not saying if you want to do that, that's fine. I'm not a big scratch off person. I don't think I've purchased a scratch off in years. I think I might've gotten one for a birthday gift once, but hey, you want to have the scratch off for a little fun, go for it. Right. I don't believe in scratching it off or walking into something and all of a sudden everything just changes for you because you're lucky, right? You got to do things in order to get to the place to become lucky. All right. So I'm not going to go down that road because I could, but I'm not going to. But the message here today, the Monday mindset today is avoid the toxic people, the toxic conversations that will lead you down a negative road. We don't need to do that, guys. What we need to do, surround ourselves with positive people and also in our own self, right? Look at where we are, where we want to go, and know that on the road to get there, we are going to have things that happen. We are going to have things that we're going to have to deal with. It's just what we got to do in order to get there, right? If it was easy, everyone would be doing it, right? You've heard that one before. All right, guys. So that's it. That's going to wrap up this Monday mindset. Make sure you think about that and think about it. The next time that you want to complain, ask yourself, should I be complaining about this? Is this going to help the situation? Do that for me. All right. So guys, that's it. That's going to wrap it up. As always, take care, take action, have an awesome, amazing week. I'll see you back here on the next episode. Cut. All right. What do we got here, guys? Did that make sense? Do you ever find yourself either seeing that or hearing that? Or have you ever been a part of that? I have. I've been part of that before. Don't like it, but I have. And that's when I start, wait a minute here. What are we in? Are we in a complain fest here? Or are we, helping each other and being more positive and having a better outlook? It happens to the best of us. All right. So hopefully this has helped you guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me here this Monday morning. And I wasn't kidding. I think I got to bed a little after 2:00 in the morning and I woke up at like 7. So I'm on about 5 hours sleep. I feel pretty good. But I'm going to carry on the day. Might go to bed a little bit earlier tonight. Maybe take a nap. I don't know. But here I am back, and we are right here on this Monday mindset. And Wednesday topic, not sure yet, Salma, but I will post it. And I've got a few ideas, a few things that we may be talking about. And if you guys have any suggestions for any upcoming coffee talks, let me know. Drop them in the comments. And we'll go ahead and potentially do that. And if you guys are part of our niche properties class, I should probably bring this up. Yeah, we are going to be adding in a couple new lessons coming up this week. And I'm potentially going to be doing inside of Brand Creators Academy. I'm going to be doing a live keyword research session. I'm looking over my shoulder as I fill a couple of my keyword buckets. So if you're in BCA, look out for that. Niche properties. We're going to be having a couple new lessons posted there. All right. So that's it, guys. Have an awesome day, week, and hopefully I'll see you here on Wednesday, or maybe I'll see you inside BCA or niche properties. Take care, guys. Have an awesome, amazing day. See ya.